welcome back to Muscular Development. My name is Lauren Lotter. I'm your host, and I'm with the amazing Emma Hyndman.
Woo! I still need my own little soundbite there.
I'm working on it. I actually am.
How are you today, Lauren? Are you good?
I'm good. I've had like 4 cups of coffee, and
wow.
But I am content creating, so it's all good.
Oh, nice. I
like
it.
Yeah.
Love it. I love creating content for socials and stuff. It's so time consuming. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
Especially when you multi-content post and you don't really realize how many posts you have to put on other platforms.
Yes.
That's when it gets a bit crazy.
Gets a bit messy.
Yes.
But you're very logical and planned out. So I can imagine there's lists for lists for lists.
Yeah. Actually, there are so many lists.
Giles is agreeing in the background. Yes. That's good. You've got to be organised.
Thank you. Yeah. Cannot stay unorganized. I don't know if that's even a word, but how are you doing?
I'm good. I am good. Super busy as per usual. What have I been up to? Just getting back into the groove of things as well. Had a couple of weeks off where I did a lot of content. Just planning things out to get posted, which was really cool. And just back in the studio. Obviously we're in the height of the season, so it's very, very busy. And I always find at this time of the year I start to get more and more men in the studio because they're usually about 6 to 4 weeks out and they're ready to get in and do their posing. So I actually had a male posing group over the weekend.
Ooh.
So my friend Nathan Stiles, who is a prep coach, who obviously you know, he's got quite a few male athletes. So we did a group posing session, which was really good.
Cool.
So we did a 2-hour session in the studio. And then after that, did some one-to-ones as well. So it was a busy weekend.
Yeah, no, would you say that the girls are slightly more organized with posing than the guys then?
Yes,
okay.
100%. And I cannot strike how many times I say this. Guys, get in the studio as soon as you start your prep. And even really it should be before that. Right. But the guys are just renowned for leaving it a little bit last minute. And, you know, or this, they usually say to me, I didn't want to start too early by myself in case I started to get it wrong. So I downloaded your tutorial and I just watched it. Right. Whereas the girls, they get stuck in
they do.
12 months, 9 months before they even start their prep or get on stage. They are doing their tutorials. They're doing a one-to-one. They're doing the girls love the intensive courses. So I've just finished the July 2-week intensive. And it's just so great because it can either make a first timer like 10 steps ahead in regards to their learning and their practice, or for the more advanced posers, it can really just help them get into the nitty gritty of the posing. So I have to say the girls are always far more prepared.
Wonderful. So speaking of girls, we are going to be looking at the most latest show, which is the Chicago Pro.
Yes.
And we want to quickly go over Bikini because well, it's hot news right now. And
of course.
Like, let's be honest, it was amazing. So,
you know, like, I know we talk about the bikini category a lot.
Yeah.
But it is the one that gets the most heat.
Yes.
Because I think it's definitely the most popular category. And of course, we had the one and only Laura Lee Chapados back on stage.
Yes.
Which was very exciting. I saw lots of fantastic pictures and video clips from the weekend. So I haven't actually watched the lineup yet because I like to save it and kind of give my honest reaction on the show. But I know you've watched it.
I definitely watched it.
Yes. Yeah. And what did you think? Give us your thoughts before we tune in.
They're very tall.
Oh.
Like the bikini, like I know. They look good. It is like a Victoria's Secret model with muscle now.
I've been saying that.
But the ladies are tall. Like I was really surprised at the lineup and they were all over like 5'5".
Oh, really?
I was just like, right.
Interesting.
I'm wondering if there's like a new kind of look that they're going for.
Maybe it's just because for this category, unless depending on your proportions, and this is the real generalization, is that if you're taller, the limbs and the muscle is going to be a lot longer and lengthened. And I think definitely, with the placings of the Olympia, it really did go in that direction a little bit more. So maybe it's just, the look. Maybe it's the look.
I think it's definitely the new look, but I'll explain why when we go into this. So you guys,
shall we jump in?
Yes, Wings of Strength Chicago Pro Extravaganza. So you guys, okay, and on to the bikini lineup for Chicago Pro.
Yes. Wow, Laura Lee does look so tall in this lineup. Yeah. Interesting. It'll be interesting to see like what they place, who they place, especially since you said they went for a much taller look, because the shorter girls, they still look well proportioned within the bikini criteria.
Yes.
But yeah, look, the glutes on, and what you were saying off camera before about her training.
So she is trained by Team Atlas, and they were saying that Laura Lee has only had one glute training session per week since the Olympia.
Wow.
And her feedback from the Olympia 2020 was to bring up the size of her legs to match the glute size.
Because she's very glute dominant.
Yes.
And because the glutes are so developed, they do make the legs, the hamstrings and the quads look a lot smaller than maybe what they are. Heaps of sass from this girl. The lineup's very well polished, isn't it?
Yes.
I feel like this is a really strong lineup. I
feel like in terms of presentation and all of that, like just the look, the ladies, like you said, they were incredibly polished.
They look fantastic. And obviously as well, for anyone who hasn't really watched this category before, you're probably wondering, what is the criteria? So for the IFBB style of bikini, they really want to see not too much muscle, but you can see that the ladies definitely train. They want balance from upper to lower. They don't want any hard condition. They definitely look more for the condition through the glutes and the hamstrings, which can be very difficult to get without letting the upper half become over conditioned. So it's really finding that balance. They don't want an aggressive style of posing. It's a lot softer. Yeah, like we were saying, it's very much so becoming the Victoria's Secrets of bodybuilding, which I kind of like.
Oh, and there's Anya Nicholson from Team Elite Physique. So actually in this lineup, there are 22 ladies.
Okay.
So quite a lot of ladies.
Yeah, that's a lot of ladies.
So again, just everyone looks quite polished.
Yeah, they do. So this final lineup, a little bit weaker. Anya looks fantastic. Probably the strongest in this lineup.
Actually, she was sick. I don't know if she got COVID, but she was definitely ill a few days before the show.
Oh, I feel like I read something about this.
Yeah, she was ill.
Okay.
So
I think she did have COVID.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
No, I think she did. I'm sure they've said that on social. I could be wrong, so don't quote me. But I have a feeling they wrote something like that. I think she tested negative and then was positive when she got back to Vegas.
Yes.
Oh, bless her. I couldn't imagine anything worse, but it's, it's the risk that the athletes are taking at the moment.
Yeah.
But,
with all of that travel and just everything that they have to get through, really commend you guys for doing it, because
absolutely
there's a lot.
There is.
I like seeing the judges at the front as well. That's nice.
I know. I can't see them on this screen, but haha. Lauren always has a better view than me on the laptop. Sometimes I can't even see the athletes' heads. But thankfully today I can.
Actually, you can today. That's awesome. Usually it's
I can't see feet though, so you can talk about the shoes.
Okay, well, this lady's wearing a platform, but apart from that, she looks great. So
let's talk about the eye walk.
Okay.
For the pro ladies, because there's always a little bit confusion. I get ladies in the studio that obviously compete on an amateur stage, and they're always like, what am I allowed to do in the eye walk? Can I walk away? Do I go to the back? Do I come forwards? And it can become quite confusing. But the pro ladies do get a different eye walk to what the amateur girls do. And I tend to say for the amateur ladies, keep it just a little bit more basic. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't try and get too sassy and take a walk to the rear of the stage. Because you just tend to find that in the amateur lineup, the girls should just stay at the front on the square, because also they get less time. So unless you are very confident in your stage presentation, then just don't make it too complicated. Showcase your best, connect with the judges, show them, turn. get off.
Yes, best front pose, best back pose.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then
absolutely.
Then head out.
Nice presentation here. I feel like this lady maybe could have been a little bit tighter through her condition, just to really have that control over the midsection, and the glutes and the hamstrings are a little bit smooth. But presentation's so nice. Nice presentation, but I would have liked a little bit more condition.
I like the face, but I'm going to be honest, I'm not keen on the arms.
But
that's me being very critical.
Yeah. I think for me, for this lady, she probably just could fine-tuned her actual poses a little bit more. The transitional pose, which I call it the transitional pose, where you step back and you pop the front knee off and the back leg is straight. If that pose just isn't nailed properly for that physique, it can kind of make the waist look a little bit thicker. See this lady here, it makes the waist look really tight. So it's nice, but it's just making sure that each of the poses pop for that athlete as much as possible.
Now,
a little bit flat in the glutes here. She's got quite long glutes.
Yeah,
the muscle is long, which looks great in the front.
And she is little. Tiny little waist and everything.
Oh, I like that little presentation on the end. Yeah. It's so important to make your presentation just that little bit different, but not over the top. So it's a very fine balance, but it's something where you want to bring your character in. Now, for me, this lady here, when she first walked in and just did that first little transition before the front pose, sometimes the ladies can just bend over too much. So it's quite clear to see that, you know, the shape of the glute is because you're leaning over. So you've really got to work to keep the shoulders on top of the hips as much as possible, so it doesn't look like you're faking it. So just be very mindful of that.
Yeah.
She's effortless, but I feel like, you know, when you could maybe make more of the posing and still keep it effortless, and that would just enhance the figure and the overall presentation even more. Making sure you're keeping those glutes lifted when you walk away as well. Here she is, the girl that everyone's been talking about, Laura Lee Chapados.
See, I'm not keen on
I'm not keen on that. She's got a very long torso, which really helps, I think, not make her... She doesn't need to get too conditioned. I know she was quite lean because I did see a lot of her footage running up to the show, but she doesn't look over conditioned.
I know she's been working at the back quite a lot recently too, which I thought was quite interesting because Bikini's always told to refrain from working at the back.
I think, again, it just really depends on each athlete's individual shape.
Yeah. Sorry, just a point to note as well, Laura Lee's bikini bottoms are a lot smaller than, say, for example, the lady you saw before, which was Lopez in the sunset bikini.
They're quite low at the front.
Low at the front, and they're smaller at the back on the material. Like, there's less material there. So that's something to note as well for the high and round glute to make accentuate that.
Adds to the glute, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I feel like she went the wrong way.
Oh, okay, girl. Style that out, girl. Doesn't matter.
Maybe she meant
You're
to
fire
do that.
Anyway. She wanted like just a little bit. She wanted to loop around the judges on the other end.
She meant to do that. That's
I think
fine.
she planned that.
So this lady is from Japan, Dore.
Nice, lovely shape.
Little
again, a long. Although she's small, she's got a long torso, and she has the same bikini bottoms as Laura Lee. The same shape.
I just feel like maybe less material on them.
It's the back of it. It's a smaller thong, isn't it? It's a smaller Brazilian. So it's really important. A little bit wobbly there. I do sometimes think she's got quite a high platform and there's no ankle strap. And you have to be so confident in your posing to make sure that you don't trip over they're so high.
But her shoes are too big for her. You can see she's got heel gap on the back, which means that
Lauren doesn't like the heel gap.
I hate the heel gap. I think like it ruins your photo so much.
I would totally be the girl with an ankle strap. I just think it makes you so much more secure on stage. Lovely physique.
So this lady, if you're 160, Ivana. And she actually did play. She came 5th.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes.
Oh, Ivana, yeah. Nice.
I really like
She's got a really nice frame.
Now you say her platforms, but this one is very high. She's got like...
Not as high as the other girl, though.
Higher.
Her platform?
Way higher.
Oh, but she's got an ankle strap.
Oh, maybe she's more secure.
I really do think having an ankle strap makes you a lot more secure. Because when you've not got one and it's just a slip-on, if you're not like an experienced athlete or you've not spent a lot of time on stage, then you're thinking about holding on to that shoe when you're walking. I know you don't agree because you prefer without, but maybe just from my experience with working with so many girls, once you put an ankle strap on them, they pose so much better. Okay. But the look, you like it without.
Yeah, I do. But that's for me personal preference, just because I don't like the feet to get like sweaty or irritated. Like, I know that sounds ridiculous, but if you don't like the feeling of them being on all the time, they can come off easily. You just have to know how to walk in them properly when you're on stage. Is
there a reason why you don't like the ankle strap for the line of the leg or anything like that, or just purely just so you can slip your shoes on and off?
Slip on and off, and also because I just find it more comfortable.
So it is totally personal preference then.
Personally more comfy. Yeah. So this is Jasmine Gonzalez from Pennsylvania.
Nice.
She's got the best presentation out of everyone in my opinion.
Oh, interesting.
Posing presentation.
Yeah.
This lady, 162, Rian Colley from Minnesota.
Nice. I feel like there is so much more sass coming through the girls, and it really looks natural on them as well. And this is something you've really got to watch and kind of pick up what you like from different athletes and then make it your own, because not everything, this works, but I'm a little bit too much there, but it works. And what I always try and say is try and make your posing never ending. So whether it's the case of, the arms are still moving, but the rest of the body might be still. There's a shoulder pop, but the rest of the body is still. So it's almost like your posing is resonating in the space, which then gives you stage presence and energy on stage as well.
Okay.
But she's got this nailed. I love it. Really nice. Did she place?
Not top 6, but I'm trying to figure out in the lineup where she came in.
Nice.
But again, bikini bottoms, very small.
Yeah.
Definitely ask your bikini maker to fix your bottoms for you if you're at pro level. And saving tip, if your bikini top still fits, then just get the bottoms fixed.
Yeah.
You don't need an entirely new bikini unless you really want it.
Yeah. See, for me, this girl's presentation, she's kind of under-presenting a little. It's not enough.
It's tame.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe that's nerves. Her physique doesn't look quite as polished or developed as some of the other girls. So maybe she's new to the Pro League. Yes,
this is Carrie Hennessy from Utah. And I haven't seen much of her on, so I think this is one of... Yeah, but more condition is needed through the glutes and the hamstrings. And
I think just a more polished style of posing as well.
Yes.
As you said, it's a bit tame. But who knows? This might just be, her first pro season or second or third, and it takes a long time to nail that look.
So this lady is Christine Makowski from Connecticut. And yeah, she, again, tame. In my opinion.
Okay, yeah.
Looks a little bit afraid.
Yeah.
But you got this for next time, Christine. So
yeah. Again, she could just give it a little bit more, but I think as well that's confidence. That front pose for me, I would maybe give a little bit more on the lat, because even though we don't want to give an aggressive lat spread when you're in the front pose, you still need to have engagement, because actually that gives you the taper through the top line down to the waist, and they really massively look for this still. So it's quite important that the girls understand how to present themselves, but without aggressively posing. I don't like this pose.
No, neither do I.
No, it makes her waist look thick.
Yes. I think it's that classic Issa pose from the Olympia 2019 where she did that to the front. But unless you genetically have a really tiny waist, I've seen a few girls where, like you said, makes it look thicker instead of smaller.
And for me, I would only really present that pose if it was better than the standard front pose.
Yes.
So if it's something like, it was really going to turn the judge's eye, but it still really made you fit into the bikini criteria, then I would showcase it. I would never tell an athlete to do that if it wasn't stronger than the front pose or the transitional pose, because I feel like the girls, we can flip between the front pose and the transitional one and utilize that in the posing a lot. So if that alternative front pose was stronger than the front pose and the transitional, then put it in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just goes to show that not every pose is going to work on each person.
No,
exactly the
no,
same.
absolutely
work for your
not.
Body,
yeah,
not for
100%.
what Miss Olympia did.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's where a lot of the girls go wrong. They just kind of instinctively copy what the winner has done. And it's doesn't always work for their physique,
Yes.
So really important to identify what works best for your physique, and just making sure that whoever's advising you posing wise, that they really are able to pull that out in your physique. Oh, she's nice.
So this is 166 Gabriella Mahama.
Nice.
And this is her pro debut.
Oh,
so
nice to say that it's her pro debut and she's stronger than some of the other girls on stage.
Very conditioned.
Fantastic. In that transitional pose that she just did, for me, if she just lifted the front hip a little bit more, would it give a better shape through the waist and the glute?
She needs to switch her bikini bottoms out because her glutes
They're too big, aren't they?
Way too big.
Yeah.
They're like a third coverage. She needs to be a micro scoop.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely.
But it's a shame because everything else looks amazing on her.
Yeah. I have a lot of girls as well that want to do the transition from the rear pose into the step together. So, the little sway of the hips.
Yeah.
And it looks fantastic when it's done right. But again, I think this comes with experience and being able to really learn to move like that, because it's not easy to have that grace, and sometimes it can just look a bit awkward.
Yeah, and also like if you've never done that, you don't want, if you're not as conditioned and something jiggles, then
absolutely
you maybe say goodbye to a placing. So don't do anything that's completely fresh, because you never want to showcase a transition that exposes any kind of weakness. Yes.
So it's really important that you really spend time recording yourself, watching back, making sure that transition doesn't make the glute look soft, that the any kind of turns don't expose the thickness of the waist. So just really bear things like that in mind, because the posing does play such a huge part in this.
Showcase your best features. Got Anya Nicholson from Las Vegas.
Nice.
So I feel like she was like a little bit flat, but that's because I think she was sick. Poor girl.
Her bikini bottoms go very low at the front, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah. I think just a little bit more lat and shoulder on that front pose, tiny, just to open the top line out, because she is a little bit internally rotated through the front shoulder in that front pose.
What do you mean by internally? Like, does it
so
go
the shoulders
over?
rolling inwards a little, and if she just opened out the shoulder and externally rotated, then it would just give a little bit more angle on that top line.
Okay.
Yeah.
So bring it up.
Bring it up. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, okay, I see. Yep.
Yeah.
I see.
So just wait until she hits the front pose again. So here, just slightly rotated in. I think if she just opened that shoulder up, but overall really, really nice. And I think as well, with more stage time and confidence, her presentation will just get better and better.
So this lady over here is 169 Christina, and she's from Spain.
Nice.
And she also did
Oh,
place.
Lovely. Again, a little bit internally rotated in that front shoulder. You can see there. It just, for me, it gives a little bit too much on the trap. Cute.
I feel like she's quite confident.
Yeah.
Like she's been on the pro scene for a while now. Like, I love this. There you go.
Nice.
Ooh.
I don't like it when people turn the hand out, but I know why they do it. Because sometimes it can just give a little bit more roundness on the shoulder. But again, if she just worked on her external rotation in that pose, it would open the shoulder up and she could just keep the wrist in line.
Okay.
For me here, the elbows are too wide and the knees are a little bit too bent. So she just refined that. It would just make that rear pose a little bit sharper. Nice little transition there. I like.
That's nice.
She's made it really individual. Yes. She's made it her own, which I really like. And she's done it well. Just rotate that hand in. This is nice as well.
I like this bikini color.
Nice little hand on the leg.
That was new.
Oh, okay, girl.
See, that was very new.
So that style is very Russian. With the kiss, the knee up.
The other federation that we do not speak of.
Yeah. But, you know, shout out to the females in that federation, because I always find, I've said this before, I think because a lot of the Russian girls are ex-ballerinas, they have that, it's almost like they're on stage and they're like a prima ballerina and they do the kiss to the crowd.
Actually, there was a girl at your first posing workshop, and she did that, and she was like,
she was Eastern European,
oh my God, and I was like, she is so cute.
Yes.
But I know what you mean.
I don't mind it. Just don't make it too over the top.
Got it.
You know, I would maybe make the knee lift for me was a little bit too high, still a little bit more subtle. But that's just me. I prefer more of a subtle style of posing, but impressive.
So this lady is Ashley, and she's making her pro debut.
Oh, nice. She's tall.
Very tall.
Because her head and her feet are off my screen.
I'm telling you now, Bikini is going tall.
Yes. She's nice. A little bit soft. I think she could do with a little bit more development through the upper half just to give her more balance. But nice presentation.
Yeah.
You see, now she, I like that there on that transition, a little bit more roundness through the glutes. And I think that would add to her frame. And I think as well, when you are a taller athlete in this category, you have to have a little bit more mass because the limbs are longer, obviously. Right. So, you know, someone that has is a shorter frame, you don't have to have as much muscle on because the muscles are a lot more compact. Now, this lady's definitely shorter.
So this is Yadira Yazata from Florida.
Okay. She has that very high platform on again. I'm seeing a lot of the shorter girls.
That's because we need to compete with the taller girls. Like... taller ladies, they tower.
Yeah.
But no, I like her bikini.
Yeah. I like this, the top of her bikini with the sequin band across the back. It sparkles. I like.
I feel like her walk is a bit awkward.
And do you know what? For me, when she walks, I would have her have a little bit more movement through the hips and the shoulders, because you can't really see the glutes when she walks forwards, which kind of makes her look quite athletic. But when she's walking away, she's got those glutes lifted. We like that. Nice. So who do we have here? 173
Anna Ratera from Florida.
Nice.
Very tall lady again.
Oh no.
I'm not keen on that anymore.
This is much stronger, you see. It's like, again, she needs a little bit more lat here because she's not showing balance. And that first pose, for me, it would be a no. Little bit soft through the rear, not quite as enough condition, but very pretty. Nice smile.
She kind of reminds me of Janet.
Yes.
You know, like she has that look.
Little bit softer.
Yeah. Soft posing as well.
Yeah, very Victoria's Secrets. See, I feel like I can always tell when the ladies are a little bit older because no, this is not a bad thing. It's because you can tell because they do carry a little bit more muscle.
Okay.
And they are a little bit more conditioned. I can just tell through their overall look. And that's definitely not a negative thing because for me, the lady who's just been on, who was Anna, she's younger. So you can tell she doesn't have that same maturity through her muscles.
Okay, I got you.
Whereas I can see that this lady, she's got a little bit more development.
This is Whitney.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got like, more development, I see.
Yeah.
Yep.
So here we are. We're going to have first call out now.
Yes, you guys. And that was, I think, about 22 ladies in the bikini lineup. So quite tough.
Yeah.
Actually. And we got a few pro debuts in there as well, which is really nice to see.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Lots of girls.
Yeah. That's a big lineup.
So as well, this, look, you have to be prepared for how the stage is set and how you're going to present yourself to the judges, and being mindful of that as well, so always angle yourself towards the center judge, to make sure that you are giving your best angle. So this is our first call out here, which I always really love, because after you've seen all of the ladies doing their individuals, it gives us because I think when you pose by yourself, you can look a lot better, than how you would maybe fare in a lineup.
Yes, for sure.
So I think it's always great, that first lineup, to see the ladies all in comparison. So this is a beautiful lineup.
Yes, you've got Laura Lee, Jasmine, Christina, Brina, Ivana, and Maureen.
Fantastic.
And this is your top 6. And yeah, they look amazing.
What do you think about the hair? Do you think it needs to be long, or does it matter that we've got 161 and hers is just sitting at the top of the back?
So I think 161 Jasmine, like if you've got that natural curly style hair, go for it, because it's really in. If you've got waves as a bikini lady, you need to definitely cut it above the scoop of the bikini
bottoms, absolutely,
and show your waist as well as your rear delts, because they want to see that. So Laura Lee's hair is good. I would say Christina's hair is really good, and so is Brina's, but the other 2 ladies, Ivana and Maureen, their hair is slightly too long and needs to be chopped about 2 inches. The 2 ladies on the very end.
Because then as well with Laura Lee, you can see how small the waist is,
and you see the cap on the dome.
Exactly. So even you've got to think about the thickness of the hair as well, just to make sure that you don't cover the delts and also the length, so that it doesn't cover how small the waist is.
Exactly.
So these look fantastic. I mean, for me, through the rear here, I would say that the middle 3 ladies, top 3 through the rear shot. And you can tell, because the judges are holding them here, that's what they're really comparing them on. And quite interesting that they haven't had the ladies do a glute walk. No. Which I've noticed in the past few shows, they've not always done it. So, it's something that you usually expect.
Yep.
But if it doesn't happen, then you need to make sure that you are nailing your rear pose and your transition. So just making sure that you're fully prepared in case that they don't ask for that glute walk.
Yes.
And maybe that's the reason why the pro ladies, they get more time in the eye walk. So that's their opportunity to maybe do the glute walk. Maybe they're going to phase it out of the comparisons.
Maybe it could also be something to do with timing. The first couple of shows of the season, they were quite long and overrun. So I feel like Chicago cut it out. Was really on time with stuff. Yeah. But it could be that kind of reason. But this is your top 6. And absolutely spectacular. With Laura Lee heading to Olympia 2021.
Yes.
Forgot what year we were in.
She got her qualification. Just for me here, I would just say that Jasmine could just be a little bit sharper. But really from in through the front pose, fantastic. And I just think as well, if Jasmine just gave a little bit more, you see how Laura Lee squeezing her elbows in?
Yes.
Jasmine needs to do the same, because it would just, again, I've mentioned this quite a few times today, it would just give more external rotation through the side delts. So we get more cap. You see how we can really see the cap on Laura Lee's shoulders, because she's nipping those elbows behind her.
Yes.
Jasmine just needs to do the same, because through that front pose, she's got a lovely little shoulder cap there. So it's just a shame she's not seeing it. So I do think with a little bit more condition for Jasmine, she, that physique would just be finished off for me. So
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing. Side front pose. I love. What do you think about so our number second from the end, 156?
So for Maureen, I thought she looked really good. She came 6th in this.
Amazing.
In this show.
They're moving the top 6 around quite a lot as well.
Yeah, they made them work. I do think maybe a little bit higher up on the glutes. She needs more there. But
I also think, though, that as well, if Maureen twisted her hips a little like she just did there, twisted them to the right and kept them there, it would give a better shape through the glute and the front leg. You see how Laura Lee's hips are really facing the right? Mm-hmm. Maureen's are just front facing a little bit too much for me. If we come back to that front pose, then I think you'd be able to notice that. Show us that front pose. But the ladies, they do look fantastic. You see? She needs to twist her hips around to the right more.
Yes, I can see.
Yeah. Maybe that's the toe is facing forwards too much, or I'd play around with that if I was her. And it's these finer details that really, really make a difference for the ladies.
So then this one.
Oh, this is for the...
From places 4 to 6?
Yeah. Oh.
I didn't actually see this.
Oh. I mean, if you're on stage at this point, I know, what are you thinking? Like, what's going on?
So they're just...
Okay, so they're really comparing like 4th to 6th to 8th. Yeah, just so they can really see the ladies together.
But yes, do you want to move on to an awards? Or?
Yeah, let's move to the end and look at the awards. Just again, pay attention to how those girls are posing down the sides of the stage. You cannot afford to switch off.
No.
At all. You need to make sure that you're constantly presenting. You know where your judges are. You know what your strongest poses are to hold at the side of the stage as well. And it's something you need to start thinking about. Don't leave it too late. Get used to thinking about the whole thing when you're on stage. Imagining your walk. Get yourself in a big studio so you can practice walking on stage, doing your eye walk, and then coming back on stage to do your comparisons, and just making sure that you get used to running the whole thing constantly, because if we don't practice that and you get on stage, it can be a little bit nerve-wracking, because if you've not practiced it, then it can be nervous. So that's one of the reasons that I do the stage coaching workshop. So you get an opportunity to actually get on stage and fully run what would happen when you are on stage. So if you have an opportunity to do anything like that, I would highly recommend it. So we are just trying to locate our awards so we can go through those and talk you through it.
Okay, so this is Bikini Awards, and I'm just going to run into the very end. So we've seen that they only make the top 6, I think, or the top 10 do their eye walk again.
Okay. So that's nice, because the pros, they really get lots of stage time, which is fantastic, because when you are competing at this level and you live the life that you do, then it only seems fair that you get plenty of time on stage.
Definitely. So here we go. We've got the award section. Again, they're comparing the ladies. Again, they just made them work so hard at the pre-judging as well as the award at the nighttime. So that's good.
Awesome.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Full screen.
Ha! Awesome.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10
So this is our top 10.
Mm-hmm.
So this would be the evening show. Yeah?
Yes.
Awesome.
So I think they're just...
Notice how the lady on the far right is pointing in towards the judges when she did her rear pose there.
Yes. Yep, I could see that. You can see she's slightly angled in the same way.
Yep, same on the other end as well.
Pose.
So really pay attention to that. Notice how the ladies are constantly smiling. I think this is really important on stage as well. You really have to have that stage smile constantly. And no matter what's going on behind the eyes, We just do not want to show it. So just make sure you really get used to that. That really comes into your presentation that you do by yourself before you get on stage as well. So here we have our awards.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's quite obvious that Laura Lee takes it.
I think sometimes with a show, you can just sort of look at one person and be like, okay, I feel like that person's going to be the winner. The clear, you know, overall. And then it is about placing the other ladies. But, you know, just because Laura Lee wins on this one, I'm going to put it out there. She might not win the next one, but she might win. So we don't know because we have to watch.
You just don't know, do you?
You know,
do we know what's next for Laura Lee?
I think it will be Olympia.
Okay.
Yeah, 70 days time.
Okay.
So that's all good.
Yeah.
I mean, she doesn't need to compete again unless she really wants to.
Yeah, I think, well, I know. But obviously we had Ashley Kay, you know, who just keeps going. She's got her qualification, but just keeps going and going.
I was surprised that Ashley didn't do this one because Anya's doing it. So I was wondering why maybe Ashley didn't do this one.
Yeah, maybe she felt like she needed a break.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe she thought, I don't know. Interesting.
So we got Jazzy and Maureen and wait for it. Oh, wait. Second place. Is this second place?
Yeah.
Oh, Jasmine came
third.
Go Jazzy.
Yeah.
We like Jazzy.
We do. I think she's got a lot of potential. Oh, look, Laura Lee gets a bag.
A wolf pack bag.
And a sword. That sword is way better than the sword that I won. Amazing. Aww. Much deserved. Well done.
So I think Laura Lee was a previous Chicago Pro winner. So I'm not sure if she's defending the title or if she's won again.
Okay.
But it's you know, her win into Olympia, so that's good.
And
then now they're just talking and crowning
amazing.
Her and all that good stuff. And
fantastic.
So congratulations to Laura Lee Chapados.
Yes.
And congratulations.
Amazing. Well, that's our roundup for the Chicago Pro. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, share and subscribe.
Yes. And we will see you again next week.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a great day.
Bye.